So this is absolutely not what I expected, but I find it really interesting.
Welcome back to Dastardly Hamster. We are here again today listening to a paid song suggestion. This one is again from Ty Havard, or Ty Havard. Sorry if we mess up the name. Thank you again so much for your donation. This is a song called Judgment Day by the band Love Bites. We don't know anything else about this band yet.
I have no idea what to expect here.
If you'd like to suggest some songs for us to react to, you can donate to us on Patreon or buy me a coffee. There are options for a guaranteed reaction or to enter your monthly suggestions into a draw. Monthly members will get access to our reactions up to a month early.
That's a really interesting start. That felt a little bit like System of a Down.
What song?
Well, just the way she starts out like a little bit operatic, like multiple songs. That's a common style for System of a Down to do. Interesting. Not what I expected. Yeah, I find that so interesting, and the band that's most coming to mind when I hear them is System of a Down. It's interesting because most of these Japanese bands that have been recommended to us so far were very, like guttural death screaming. So this is absolutely not what I expected, but I find it really interesting because the metal bands that we've been hearing so far, the juxtaposition to the screaming that they've had for the most part has been very poppy. And this, yeah, I describe it as closer to operatic. It's a break from what we've been experiencing so far.
Right. Well, before I was saying there was like a clash of styles, I don't actually feel there's much clash in this song. Like, I mean, other than it being a female vocalist, what I'm actually seeing here is that this is more normal in Japan, is that you have a lot of these harder bands that are being fronted by female vocalists, which is really cool. Like, it seems to be a whole thing over there. And you don't see it, as much here. So I'm really appreciating it for that reason.
Likewise, yeah, it's really, I feel like I've been missing out. Clearly, I've been missing out on so much. That was incredible. Oh my gosh. I mean, there's not really more to say except that that was amazing. I love guitar solos. Musicians getting some time to shine.
Yeah, and the dueling guitar solos, and then eventually they came together at the end. I thought that was really
Beautiful. Incredible. Near the end there, where she started to like really belt, it started to feel very 80s metal to me. All those big classic bands, a lot of them had that very operatic big voice. That's where it started to veer to me near the end. And I thought that was really nice. I do find that in the internet age where not everything has to cater to the lowest common denominator, basically, that some bands are kind of recreating old styles and making new things that sound like old stuff. And that near the end, that's what it started to feel like to me, is sort of like an homage to 80s metal.
So what do you give this one?
It's really really good, a contender for five ham stars, but because it was like fairly consistent, there weren't a whole lot of transitions. It was good, but a little more consistent than I'd like. So I'm gonna give it 4 out of 5 ham stars.
So, I mean, first of all, the solo was amazing, like incredible, and I was really, really into that. I think what they're doing takes so much skill. Like, it was so good in that sense. In terms of my personal taste, I'm a punk fan, right? I like quick music. I would have liked it to be shorter, and I didn't feel like it pulled me all the way through with what was there. I think, again, the solos, incredible. I'm, I'm not going to say a single bad thing about those. But not exactly my style, not what I would usually listen to, but I did enjoy it. So for that reason, I'm going to give this a 3 out of 5 ham stars.
I found it really interesting that it had sort of like a Middle Eastern type of sound, which is not what I might have expected for a Japanese band. I love to see that kind of thing of styles mixing around the world. You know, we often see that as kind of a Western thing, sometimes seen as good, sometimes, you know, inclusive, sometimes seen as cultural appropriation. But it's nice to see it outside of a Western context. Thank you so much for that donation and your suggestion. We are so appreciative. It was such a nice surprise and a nice break from the other bands that we've been experimenting with. So thank you so much.
That's it for us, Hamstars. Spin your wheel down to that subscribe button.
And give us a dastardly thumbs up.